Thanks for coming, Seb.
Nice.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you, mate.
How you been?
All right, man. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Plodding along, life.
So, obviously, to keep you anonymous, we're going to do things a little bit different.
Yep.
But we're going to talk about your life and your times as a graffiti writer.
Yeah, man. Yep.
So, where did it all start?
So, probably about 14, 15. It's the first time I actually tried doing anything to do with graph itself. You know, pencil, sketching, you know, that sort of thing. Probably noticed this since I was a kid, man. Like, every time it's a stereotypical thing in it, but going out the train windows, you know, you see graph, you see tags, you see all this sort of stuff. And yeah, for me, it was like, wow, just instantly drawn into who these people were. Like, how did you do this? How did they get there? When were they doing this sort of stuff? So yeah, just natural progression then from that to, well, I'm going to just try it myself.
Yeah.
Didn't know anyone at the time, so it was, yeah. So
what kind of writers were you seeing up then?
So some of the first tags I remember seeing was Volume, you had Scam, I think it was Scam 57, you had Skim, you had Kesto, see yourself, you had Solve, Q. Yeah, man, there's a few names.
So all that kind of like Barry, Grangetown.
Grangetown, South Wales, yeah. So
Yeah.
Cardiff, Barry, fucking yeah, just South Wales, man.
So yeah, what age did you start writing then? 14, was it?
Yeah, 14, 15. Just started doing like pencil sketching and stuff and just doing bits and pieces like that. Started off doing names, man. That's what I did, but just in pencils because I didn't even know anything about like pens and stuff. And obviously back then it was slightly different. So but it was just constant, just doing colour pencils and things. And then obviously found spray paint.
Yeah. Well, I can remember you breaking on the scene and coming through. And you hit it hard, didn't you?
I was about, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely about.
Made the papers a few times and all that shit, wasn't it?
Yeah, front page, fucking, I think it was about 2 or 3 different newspapers, a couple of bits and pieces, and then, yeah, obviously the inevitable happened, as you know, but yeah.
Did you get caught?
Yeah, man, so, yeah, we had fucking, ended up getting followed by, it was a couple of occasions, but the one time, got stuck on the front page of a newspaper. And then I had a phone call, mate, and it was off my mate's sister at the time. And they said that they'd nicked my mate, and they were literally on their way down to come and get us. And that was that. And they were pretty sound about it, you know, it was good as gold. First time I just got warning, and I got tag and all that sort of fun. And then second time, man, yeah, I got caught on camera. Literally followed me home.
Yeah.
And all I did, man, I was just tagging a fucking marker tag just in the middle of town, and yeah, followed me all the way home. About half hour, 45 minutes later, bang, come flying through the door. I had nowhere to go as well because I lived on a top floor flat.
Yeah.
The windows are like this big, and so yeah, I ended up doing time for that. So yeah.
So from your first like initial years of writing, how did that kind of like progress then?
I carried on. Obviously, it's what I did even when I was inside, man. It's just, that's what kept me going. I was sketching, sending people sketches and stuff, man. It was so, I always kept in touch with that side of life, and at that point, it was all I knew as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just like a natural progression to just carry on, and that's what I did, man, for years. I did stop. I stopped for about 8 years.
Yeah.
Didn't pick up a pen. Nothing. No sketching, no nothing. Life, you know, and just living and shit, and just whatever gets in the way and stuff. So, yeah, that's what happened.
Graffiti always pull you back in, doesn't it?
Mate, it was a really random thing because it was something completely nothing unrelated to graph, and it's just by chance that I met someone, got talking through another art form as such. We were going to do a bit of an interview. And then it turns out that he used to be a writer. And then we got talking. And then I think a week later, he rang me. And he was like, mate, what are you up to? I said, nothing. He said, right, I'm going to come get you. So I got a boot full of paint. Let's go out. So we went and we did a couple of motorway spots. Yeah. That was the first time I got back into it. And I was there, bang.
That's all it takes sometimes, don't
man. It was more it was a bigger impact than probably what it was than when I was first into it when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like the love and just everything about graph just engulfed me.
Because it's like as you get older, and like you said, life gets in the way, don't it?
Yeah.
And then when that graph comes back into your life, it just fills all them holes, don't it? All those voids.
And it gives you a focus as well, like something to center yourself on as well. Especially, well, for me personally, I suffer a lot of mental health problems and stuff, so I interpret graph, I suppose, in a different way to a lot of people, but probably in the same way as a lot of other people as well, because I know there's a lot of similarities in graph and mental health. I know a lot of people personally, and they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something to do with the brain and we're just the creativeness inside us or whatever, but yeah, there's nothing like a can in your hand.
No.
There's nothing else like it.
It's the release, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you said, like it's that focus, and it's like something to aim for, but you become this complete character, don't you? And then you're feeding that then.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's literally spot on. So for me, like personality tours and stuff like that, it's you completely lose yourself to the fact that you don't know who you are, and that's half the problem.
Yeah.
So with graph, for me, that is my ego. That's my alter ego.
Your alter
so that
ego.
is completely. And that's my persona, because it sounds really stupid and really strange, but it's like you get into character. And that's how you feel, like even like on missions or just random stuff, anything to do with graph or whatever, but it's like you become a different character.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's just the best way for me to live my life. It gives me a personality.
Yeah, it's like that side to graph is massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like years ago, before like the social media side of it came into play, you'd kind of like get the feel of a person just through their graph.
Yeah.
And like sometimes they'd throw you off course, wouldn't it? Because like you meet the person, you think, no, you were nothing like I thought you'd be.
It's true. You build expectations up for people. Like I said, you just don't know who anyone is behind a tag or a piece or something unless you know them personally.
Yeah.
So you automatically have this image in your head of what this person's going to be like, but then, you meet them and you're like, oh my God, you're nothing like what I was expecting you to be like. So, it's a funny one.
I've had people say to me as well, though, you're exactly what I thought you'd be like. So, like, that's a bit of a mad one as well, isn't it? It's like, like your alter ego and graph. So, let's talk about like the naughty stuff then. Like, how did you get into like painting graph on trains?
Obviously, I dabbled in a few bits years and years ago. It wasn't even a direction that I thought I was going to be going into when I got back into writing. Like I said, it engulfed me. It's completely and utterly engulfed me. So when I first started going back into it, I went back old school. So it was just bombing. It's just pure bombing, and that's pretty much all it was for like about 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I started doing like a couple of pieces on walls and a couple of bits and pieces and stuff, a couple of track sides. Track sides are fun. Best thing. There's nothing better. That time of night, just on your own, or even if you got someone with you, it's just chilled. You know what I mean? It's just a different world, a completely different world.
Yeah.
So, obviously did track sides and bits and pieces, and then I met a guy, writes Fessa, and he ended up sort of dragging me into it. So we started doing a couple of bits, and then it's obviously escalated and gone to where we are now.
Yeah, because that's why I thought it was important to get you on, really, because obviously there's other writers that paint trains and stuff, but obviously knowing you personally and like you being around at like the kind of like start of like when we all started getting up, like me, Solve and Cost, but like at this, so like think of you back then. And like now we're here where we are, and you're smashing panels.
Oh, it's mad. It's mad. I know. When we were saying about like the persona and the character and stuff, when you have like a reality check as such, and you come back and it's like, shit, that's me.
Yeah.
do this, do this. You know, I see them videos and stuff, and obviously magazines and bits and pieces. It's like you forget that you half the time that you do bits and pieces and stuff, and it's like, you gotta actually check yourself. You're like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is me. This is what I do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not your normal everyday 9 to 5, is it?
No, it's not.
And that's
It's
what
not.
people don't understand. Like,
Listen, you come from all walks of life, man.
Yeah.
I've met people you'd never even, you'd have them down as like panel writers or anything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
full on career people, you know?
Yeah.
Just family, day-to-day people, not one inkling that they'd even write, you know? Let alone that they're smashing panels on a daily. So,
Yeah. Well, that's
fair
what
play.
a lot of people don't realise. People like, you know, that ain't into graffiti. They probably just think like graffiti writers are just like little scumbags, but you know, in like the last couple of months, I've painted graffiti with like barristers,
Yeah.
bloody dentists,
Anyway,
and
honestly, it's
you know,
it's a mad subculture. It's just a
Yeah.
mad subculture.
yeah. So yeah, so you and Fess are just out there smashing at the moment. That's why I thought it was important to get you on.
So, yeah.
So like, let's talk about some like wild nights on the lines. Then, what do you think like your maddest night has been?
The maddest, there's a few. Probably the most recent one, which is, it's been the closest call I've had in a long time. It was me and Fade, and we'd painted a spot a few times, me, Fast, Fade, and a few other writers as well. We painted this one siding. And anyway, we went back one night, and we didn't paint the side that we would usually sort of paint. So we were sat there waiting, you know, watch the fucking driver pull up, wait for him to disappear, walk up a thing, bang, straight have it. We were on the other side of it, and it's slap bang along the main line. So it's like, was it 4 or 5 lines and stuff?
Yeah. So for people that don't know, we're talking about painting a train now.
So, yeah.
So the train would be lined up on the train track.
Live
You've got the
tracks.
opposite side to the side of the train you'd usually paint.
Yeah, and anyway, it was all good, you know, fucking painting away and stuff. And then I turned to the right of me, and I could see the light in the distance coming, so I knew it was a train. But where we were, there was not enough time to then run, like, or hide, or even think about crossing that line to then go over. So I lay down by the side of the train, like literally next to the wheels, the one we were painting.
Yeah.
And that was it, like just laid there, and this thing flew past, and I didn't realise how close that line was until that train went past me. It was one of those high speed ones, and fuck me. that shook me.
Yeah.
I looked, and my mate come back round, and it was all good and stuff. So then we carried on. About 10, 15 minutes later, seen the light again. I was like, nah, sod this. I was like, that was too sketchy being that close to it. So I just jumped and laid under the train we were painting this time. And my mate said, he was like, all I seen to the right was just, you just disappear. He was like, I just seen you laying under this train. And I was like, shit, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a sketchy one.
Yeah, because we did some track sides the other night, and we were like a good 20 feet off the track, and the Great Western was just rolling. And it feels like it's sucking the life out of your body, don't it? People don't realise that lump of metal travelling at that speed,
Listen,
so close to you.
When I laid down and that train came, like the first carriage or the engine went past me, I shut my eyes. Honestly, I just shut my eyes because I thought, do you know what? If I go now, I'm gone. There's nothing to do about it. So that's the closest one so far at the moment.
And obviously, you know, for people out there, there's a lot of lives been taken doing this thing, haven't it?
Unfortunately, there is. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a few.
We've had a couple of big ones in the last few years.
That
have gone. You know, don't realise the dangers of it. Obviously, we do doing what we do. It's like anything in life. You know, if you look out for the dangers and stuff and be careful, you should be all right. Obviously, accidents still will and can happen. You try to minimise the risks of all that happening. Obviously, it doesn't always go to plan that way, but yeah.
I know, and you can be like the most careful, methodical graffiti writer in the world. It can still happen to you, can't it?
1 second.
Yeah, you can get taken at any time. And then you can be like the most like pissed, don't give a fuck person and just out there and have a lucky night and just skip on through like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But
It's unfortunate, you know, it's what you call it, occupational hazard as such. It shouldn't be, but, you know, these are the risks we take and we know this, you know, so, yeah.
Yeah. So, you've been to prison for graffiti.
I did.
What jail did you end up in? Or what kind of area did you end up in?
So, I was in Wales. Went to two different ones in Wales. I was in Bridgend, it was Swansea. I think it was in Swansea first and then Bridgend. But yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about like the nights that led up to that then.
Well, that was when I literally got raided. That was for the market tag I was doing. But the problem was because I didn't realise that they were obviously looking for me. And at the time, so I remember this was like fucking 25 years ago now, 20 something odd years ago. But they had like a handwriting specialist.
Yeah.
So when I got interviewed and stuff, they asked me to write my tag down and do all this stuff. And they had someone come in and I did like a false tag as such. Just wrote it completely different, you know. And they come in and they had like this specialist who was like basically studying it and all the rest of this. And they put it together that what I was writing at the time. So yeah, so I got done for loads, but they tried putting some like ridiculous charges on. So even things like motorway signs and stuff, you know, just bombing, just tagging and stuff like that. But they were trying to put it up in court that it was interfering with like road safety, traffic equipment or something or other.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the charges got chucked out and stuff, but yeah, they made an example apparently. So
well, they chuck a load of shit at you, don't they?
Oh, it was ridiculous.
And then on the day, then they're like, plead guilty to that, or
like,
drop everything else.
It was like 17 charges, like separate 7 charges, something like that. It was something stupid anyway, but yeah, there was still like 11 of them that went.
Was it just you that got sent down?
Yeah, it was only me. The other lad, he got off.
How long did they give you?
So I got 4 months for that one. So I served 4 months for that one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so like you've never been in trouble for anything else apart from graffiti then, have you really?
No,
have you?
It's just all graft, man. It's all graft, criminal damage.
So like, you know, and this is what I don't understand. It's like, I know to some people it can piss you off and
changing the colour of the surface, man. It can be reversed.
You go into prison for writing your name on something.
Yeah.
It's like, how fucked up is that?
And it's one of the oldest art forms there is. You know, you look back at all the ancient Egyptians and everything else and stuff. That's where the word graffiti came from initially, didn't it? So it's just a society we're in. You know, it's just one of those things. But whatever. If I just think it shows more about the system than it does about us. Because I think if you're gonna send someone to prison for, like I said, changing the colour of a surface, when there's bigger things in the world going along, then yeah, just shows there's more about you than does me, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, they're fucked up anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. It's all money.
Yeah.
It's all money.
I was speaking to someone last night and they're like, I got sent down for this and sent down for that, when there's other people that should have been sending. But it's a lot to do with pissing off the establishment, innit?
Yeah. And they don't like it. It's freedom of speech and they don't like it. They like people to be silenced and not say anything. Like, yes sir, no for sir, 3 bags full sir. Conform to what we say and that's it. Be a good little boy.
I think that's a massive element of graph as well, isn't it? It's a huge fuck you to the whole world.
Yeah.
This is me. It's like, you know, what I do here with like the kids and stuff. It's like you can't win. It's frowned on by real writers. So like you can't like...
Everyone's always got an opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. It's you're never going to please everyone. And this is why I've learned now in life, the older I get, it's just do you.
Yeah.
Just do you. It's your life. No one else is going to walk your life in your shoes.
Yeah.
So if anyone else's opinion, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, but like you know, you have like what I was getting at, you have like the parents here and then they're picking the bones of you about graffiti. And they're like, oh, we love this fucking the nice mural stuff, but the tagging, oh, we hate that tagging. And we're like, this tagging is where it all comes from.
Of course it is.
But I always say to people, look, behind every tag that you see, it's just a young person or a creative just trying to express himself.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And I said, it is just a way of expression. It's when we're taught in schools and stuff, and when we're little, we're taught to write. Like, so all we're doing is taking that basic form of writing and just emphasizing it and then putting our own twist on it. And that's where our styles come from, and that's where they're born, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of the whole graph scene today? Honest opinion.
So it's a strange one because, you know, we're on podcasts and stuff. So with social media, I can't stand the social media side of it. But that's just because for me, it's now you haven't got to leave your house to view graph. Like you can literally open an app, open your phone, bang, search or wherever. You can pretty much see what damage was done that night because it's been posted on umpteen pages and whatever and stuff. Whereas like years ago, and what I still like doing now is benching, you know, going out and seeing it with your own eyes and viewing it. You still get that thrill. So for me, yeah, the social media side of graph is, that doesn't excite me, but actually going out and viewing it firsthand, yeah, that's still what it's all about, man.
Because it's taken that element of it away, haven't it?
Yeah, like I said, you can just view it from your house now.
Yeah.
Whereas years ago, we used to sit in WH Smith's and look through like train magazines and like train spotting magazines to look at track sides and stuff in them and just random things. Obviously, this is going back in the 90s now, but we had graphitism and there was a few other bits. The Source, we used to sit up in the back of HMV and Virgin in Cardiff and just sit there looking through the back of the graph bits, and that was the only graph you saw other than what was on the streets that you saw with your eyes.
Yeah, before graphitism, we only had the Source.
Hey, listen, Source
that one page by Chino in the Source.
Yeah, that's it, Chino.
Yeah, but like, you know, even like going back to what you said, it's like when I was about like 13, we get a bus. No, we get a train into Cardiff, and then we get a bus into St. Mellons.
Yeah.
just to walk 5 or 6 miles to go and look at a tag.
Yeah.
One tag.
Yeah.
Because some kid had come back to Barry and said, "Oh, there's a new scroll tag here. I've spotted one." I'm like,
so you'd have to go and see it.
And you wouldn't even know the exact location. You'd have a roundabout place. Yeah. And we would go and hunt that tag down.
Exactly.
It's a fucking tag, and you'd sit there for 2 hours looking at it.
These are the weird things we do.
Yeah.
This is what graph is, isn't it? It's doing all these kind of things. Like I said, like other than train spotters and things like that, who else you know just who will sit and just watch trains go by all day, like just in the hope that they see a tag or something. Still, in this day and age, I still get excited about seeing tags on trains. I'm like, wow, that's cool because it makes me think, right, okay, when was that done? Who does that? And that takes me then right back to being that kid again, thinking the same thing.
Yeah. SBS Salvage, South Wales #1 vehicle dismantler and car part specialist. Serving customers throughout the region for the past 10 years. You are sure to receive the very best price for your scrap or salvage vehicles. Just check out our websites, Scrap Car Cardiff or even sbssalvage.com to get an instant online quote. We buy all cars, vans, etc. Should you need any part for your car or van, then don't hesitate to call us, and our dedicated parts department will definitely be on hand to assist you. We also offer the very best prices for copper, brass, lead, aluminium and all other types of metals. Just give our friendly staff a call on 01446 421 034, Monday to Friday 9 to 5 or Saturday 9 to 1 to receive a price, or come down to our depot in the rear of the unit, 7 Redrup Business Park, Cardiff Road, Barry, CF63 2QW. We also don't just buy cars and sell parts. We also sell part-worn tyres at the very best prices at our depot on Robbins Lane in Barry, CF63 1QT. Call us Monday to Friday 9 to 5 on 01446 701 515, where we will assist you in any way we possibly can. Exactly right, yeah.
Circles. Everything works in circles.
It's a mad world, isn't it? It's like I was walking through Bristol last night. A couple of my mates. One's 55, one's 77. I'm walking through the city centre in Bristol, and they're just plodding along, but I'm like, rooftop, thrower, tag.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the world in a completely different way than people that don't write are. And it's like, it's mad, isn't it? Like, you feel like in some stupid way that you own the place.
Yeah.
Like Graff, it's like, oh, I'm the king of this. This is my yard. This is my wall. This is my city. And you just feel like this weird feeling, don't you? You have some like ownership over it.
You're constantly looking as well. Like you're saying, like you're walking along, it doesn't matter if you're with like different circles of friends, different groups of friends, doing bits and pieces wherever there's nothing Graff related. You're constantly looking.
Constantly.
But you're always looking everywhere else. And people will look around, like, what are you looking at? Oh, I'm just looking at his rooftop. You know?
Yeah.
You just constantly, yeah.
You don't see the world like other people do.
You notice so many different things, but...
Like, oh, spot there. How'd you get in there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Exactly. Opens your eyes, opens your imagination. I think it's all connected, so...
Yeah. And then when you do see a nice reach, somebody else has already done it. Oh, fucking, I wish I'd done that. And then you're like retracing their steps, and it's fucking wicked, isn't it?
Worst one, yeah. It's like when you've had your eye on a spot for ages, and you just, for whatever reason, you just haven't hit it. And you think, right, okay, do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to get that done. Bang. You can guarantee within a day or two that someone else would have had that spot.
Yeah.
And it's, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I get this done before?
Yeah. So, like, going back to, like, we're not going to say, like, exactly where you're from and that kind of thing. I know you've spent time, like, in all the different parts of the UK, haven't you, writing?
Yeah.
So, like, what's been your, out of all the scenes you've been involved in, what one do you think was the best or the most fruitful?
The scene up in Berkshire is decent. There's a hell of a lot of writers up here, man. Obviously, you know a few yourself, Samer and a couple of other lads from that way.
Samer.
Stern and, a couple of lads, man. There's some sick guys up that way.
I think Uglow's from there. And no, not Uglow, Whisper,
yeah, she's Berkshire way.
Yeah.
She's a decent writer as well, up and coming. There's quite a few. Like down here, there's a massive female writing scene at the moment.
Yeah.
Like Bristol.
Fucking hell, we're not going to talk about them not again, are we? Fucking hell, I get it in the neck every time I mention them.
Yes.
The girl graphers, like, fucking hell.
Mention them.
But yeah, they're doing their thing, and they, can't take it away from them. I just think, why the fucking divide? All right, you're a female that writes graffiti, just fucking get on with it.
It's an inclusive
fucking swinging your brow
society.
around.
Just include everyone. Like, I don't care if you're male, female, dog.
We're all writers, isn't it? It's
yeah, exactly. But you're saying, the scene up in Berkshire, man. So all that area, that's decent. So I travel back and forth to London because obviously RTS, we're London based. Yeah, man, we've branched out as well. We've got a few international. Got a couple of other people as well. Yeah, we've got a couple of Swedish writers. There's a guy who wrote to Oren. We're going overseas.
That's good. Branching out, like, cause it's all about them 3 letters, isn't it? It's all about your crew name.
It is.
If you can get that up.
Family, man.
So it's family.
It's not just like crew things for me. When I got back into Graph, I wasn't looking to get into a crew because like I'm still very much that old school thing as crews are your family.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. Like they're the people that you are involved with daily in and out,
Yeah.
So this is half the problem. So with the internet and social media and stuff, you get a lot of these crews and they're online. Mate, half of these writers have never even met each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're still putting up these crews on a daily basis, and like that's not real Graph.
No.
But I travel down to London, go meet up with a couple of guys. Bossy runs RTS. He's the guy who started it, bless him. So yeah, we all link up, and
there's nothing like a Graph crew, is there?
It's nice.
It's like my Graph crew. We are literally in contact from the moment we wake up till we go to sleep.
Exactly.
We live in each other's pockets.
Yeah.
We fucking die for each other.
And with us, obviously, we're spread out. It's a couple pieces. I'm here, there, and everywhere, as you know. So I'm lucky I do get to link up with them quite often.
Yeah.
But even then, it's a daily thing, man. We're constantly talking to each other, fucking discussing. Not even Graph, like you're saying. It's
just life, innit?
Just life, man.
Yeah, your brothers, like your
exactly,
brothers.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. It's like when Ree come over from New Jersey, and he put me down in MTA,
Yes.
which is like day one graffiti crew. You know, it goes right back to the start, like first generation.
Is that Dash?
Yeah, and all the ILC boys,
Yeah,
they're
that's
all
it.
in there as well. But
Sick writers.
I don't feel like a bit of a fraud. I put it up out of respect for Ree. So every time I put MTA, not trying to like kind of represent MTA, which we're doing anyway. If you write down them letters,
Then you
but it's just a
represent, of course.
respect thing for Ree.
Yeah.
But your crew is your crew from day one, innit?
We've got so there's a writer Sega affiliated, so he writes CM Crud Mode, which is Fester's part of, and there's a few of them at Berkshire Way, Daffs, they're all CM as well. And it's the same thing, like I know these guys personally on a level, and I'll put CM up as it's like a respect thing because we're all boys, you know?
Yeah.
You just, that's what we do. That's what you do.
Yeah. We still got like people in like the wider circle, and I know they'd like to be putting certain crews up, but it's like it could take a lot more than fucking that to get in the fold. And you've got to be vetted properly, innit? It's like, all right, you could be
vetting process.
You could be like a sick writer and tick all them boxes, but if your fucking personality don't fit with us, and you're never going to be one of the boys, then
we've had it with RTS, man. We've had people who we've gone painting with, we've taken out on missions, you know, and like you said, you never know what that person's going to be like, and they've not always turned out to be the person that you might have thought. And same thing, it's always like, oh, can I be put in RTS? Can I do this? And I'll put you up. And nah. It's not like that. It's like you said, it's not we're not going to just stick anyone in a crew just so we've got more people to put our name up. Do you know? That's not what it's about. It's not about the numbers.
And if you've had to ask to be in the crew, it's like if you're the type of person to ask to be in the gang, you ain't in the fucking gang.
This number, taking CVs, nah.
Bit crazy.
Seems to be the new age thing, apparently, though.
What's that?
Asking to be in crews.
Yeah.
I think it is just it's internet, man. Social media. It happens all the time.
Wow. That's a new one on me.
There you go.
So, like, what's your plans for the future? What you
carry on doing?
Carry on
fun.
Yeah.
Traveling. Do some more traveling. That's what plan is this year. We've got a couple of trips abroad, which are one's planned, and in the pipeline we've got another couple.
Yeah.
And then just hope some sunnier, warmer weather.
Yeah.
Because it's cold is not the one.
Do you want to talk about any of your books or anything like that, or is that a bit risky? Or
No, cool. Yeah. So
should we get them?
Yeah, go for it.
You are. So these are the books. Chuck them over and I'll load them up.
There you go. So
these are the books. If anyone wants to cop some of CEPAR's work and look at the stuff he's been involved in doing. And you got the panel beaters one there.
The book.
I've had a flick through and they're absolutely amazing. There's a lot of stuff in there. So talk about these.
There's a lot in that one. So this was Bossy's little baby. This was.
Yeah.
We spoke about it on the phone and bits and pieces back and forth for ages about doing a mag and stuff. And then man, this was like 2 years in the pipeline. This one, I think, as a first copy, as you can see the size of it, it's massive. So we've got another one hopefully coming out either the end of this year. So we're obviously gathering material and everything else for that as well.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, wicked.
Hopefully we're going to do a couple of interviews and stuff. So this is all picture based. There's a couple of quotes.
Yeah.
But it's all pictures. It's all damaged. It's from everywhere. Absolutely everywhere, that one. And then we got the Berkshire Graph one.
Yeah.
So that came out like last week. Less than 2 weeks ago. So that one's fresh.
Nice. Issue 1.
Yeah, issue 1.
Wicked.
So that one's run by a lad called CMOC, man. Sound guy.
CMOC?
Yeah. He's been gathering all like Berkshire Graph like history and stuff and taking photos and stuff. He's actively out on a daily basis catching runners, benching, and good lad, man.
Nice.
A lot of time for him.
Sounds sick. let's talk a bit about like the old school and stuff. So like as you've gone through Graph, like what kind of writers have inspired you? Like not just on the walls, but on the trains and everything else.
Well, man, probably one of the biggest, I'd say, even on walls and stuff, man, is Hoax. Cardiff.
Our Hoax, yeah.
Man. Yeah. It's my favourite letter style of any artist I've ever seen.
I think so.
I genuinely think he is sick, like so sick, man. His letter forms and everything.
Yeah.
So good.
Him and Armour, they're just like, well, I've said it on a few podcasts, they're just out of this world, aren't they?
Armour's a legend, man. Known him since I was like 15.
Yeah.
A long time known that guy.
Armour is a legend.
He took me out. We so for me it's letter structures and shapes. So like I'm obsessed with like shapes, and the fact being that you can just turn any sort of basic shapes into something that will replicate a letter structure that someone else then can read. Like, yeah, so we're like creating our own fonts, like essentially. So it's for me it's all about like replicating movement. So there's like certain movements with your hands and stuff you do with cans that it's just like your natural spraying action, I suppose, which is your own style, isn't it?
It becomes like a dance, don't it?
Yeah, it does, man.
Yeah.
Fully.
It's like you're painting a piece and you're like, I've done this dance before, isn't it?
It's the best workout ever, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know when you've had a full day or full night's painting, trust me.
Yeah. Well, it's nothing like those, like, I know it sounds kind of trying to fucking romantic it up, but those cold, like, winter nights where you're out on the lines and you're all...
That's what got me back into it. Like, for those...
People don't realise today, like, the smells, the lights, like,
the way we see the world and the places we get to see.
Yeah.
Like, we get to see it from points of view that hardly anyone else gets to see these things and experience them firsthand.
Yeah.
Like, the whole paint and train thing for me, regardless of like the subculture and hip hop and everything else that's affiliated with it, is for me it's that moment, it's that single moment where it's just clarity, like full on clarity. Like for the only time in my life at that point, it's while I'm stood there in this train, mate, I'm the only person on the planet.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way I can describe it. It's the most calm you'll ever feel, but in the most chaotic sense.
Yeah. Perfect, isn't it?
Is it? I love it.
It's like leading up to the action, and then as soon as you start painting,
everything about
you're just like,
everything.
Fuck it. Like, nothing else matters, is it?
It's the atmosphere. It's that's what it's about for me. The piece on the train itself it's important to a certain aspect because it's what I'm there to do. I'm creating, but that in itself, I'm there for the atmosphere and for that feeling.
Yeah.
And that's what draws me every time.
Yeah, that's wicked though. That's a good outlook on it, isn't it?
That's how it is.
It's mad how, like, sometimes as well, how it'll like take you to these places. It's like for instance, like remember when I painted the opposite sides of the Taff where the Brains Brewery thing was?
Yeah.
So I was here like 1 o'clock in the morning on my own, and then I like slid down this bank kind of thing, and I was right there, just having a smoke. I thought, I wonder how many men have been stood here on their fucking own at this time of night, looking out onto that side of the city from this actual place. And like, we were like writing up in Norwich last year. I'm just in some track and on some track, painted a little track side. I'm just looking around and thinking, fucking hell, what the fuck am I doing in Norwich, 3 o'clock in the fucking morning?
One of those ones.
Writing my fucking name on the side of a fucking train track.
Yeah. I'm sure that's like a standard thing that most of us go through because I've been there myself.
Yeah.
Stupid o'clock in the morning, laid down at the side of a bush, 5 o'clock in the morning, watching cleaners and trackies, like just there going, what am I doing? Like, you should be home in bed asleep like a normal human, but
That happens as well when you've had to bail and you're just in a bush and everything. You start questioning your whole life. You're like, what the fuck am I actually doing?
I knew
Lying
I
in a bush.
I knew I should have just had a curry and just gone to bed.
But when it comes off, but like they're the best part about it, I think. Like, you know.
Yeah, of course it is. That's what makes it. Again, like when you get home afterwards, you're like, get that release, and it's just it makes everything worth it, man. It makes it all worth it.
So, were you? I was going to ask you a question as well. Were you there years ago when I was painting the trains in the yard on the bottom? A monkey, and someone else. Were you there?
Me.
Yeah.
Me,
so like,
Pesk.
Yeah. So I was in the yard painting. I've gone into the yard on my own. It was about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm painting this fucking freight. But I can see through to the.
So I was painting a wooden one. Was that the wooden?
Yeah. Like I think it was like a rail freight or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was could you hear this noise? I was looking through and I saw a monkey grinding on the skates, grinding the benches. And I've called you all around, and then it was like that kid Ross, wasn't it? And he was like, he drove off. He said, I'm going to get my camera. Because he actually drove into the yard, like in a white car.
Yeah.
He said,
that was when you could literally drive up that fucking road into it. Yeah.
He said, I'm going to get my camera, I'm going to film this. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. So he's gone. 10 minutes later, the white car's pulled in, and I'm there thinking, oh, it's fucking Ross. And I've looked to the right, and I've just seen police on the side. We were fucking gone. I'm sure that was you, wasn't it? It was like...
It was me. I remember with me, Monkey, you, because I did a silver and... I think it was like silver and gold, like car paint piece on this wooden train.
Yeah.
It was there for years as well.
Yeah. We were all lying down in the ash park, weren't we?
For ages,
for hours,
man.
Yeah.
I had another one with Solve. I can't remember if it was with you as well. We did a back jump many moons ago. And I had to disappear. We all had to disperse. And I think I ended up down like, you know, the old harbour.
Yeah.
Like on the side with the cliffs and all that, just for about 3 hours, man. Just fucking chopper going that way. It was like, fucking hell. Being like young as well. I was froze. I was just sat there like, no eye moving.
Do you know what? I fucking forgot a lot of it. I wish I hadn't like
It's mental, honestly. I get told stories and stuff. Like I said, when that realization, when you step back and look and go, oh shit, I did that and this and this and this.
Yeah.
Like people are saying the same thing to me. It's like, God, do you remember this? And I'm like, oh shit, now
like,
I do.
Yeah, it's like people, they show me like Newer got hold of some photos from Armour the other day, and he were like, yeah, check these out, and they were like old pieces that I've done.
Amazing.
I can't even remember them.
Amazing.
Can't even remember doing them, the time, the date, anything.
There's a website I found ages ago. It's like a Welsh graph one, and it documents like it's got loads of stuff from all of Cardiff, Newport, bits and pieces. It's got all the stuff along the line. It's got loads of stuff from Barry in it. But half the links don't work for the images.
Yeah.
So like you click on them, but it tells you what it is, man. And it's got loads of size stuff in it. Solve. It's got like, it says the captions underneath, and it says like Barry train yard graph and this, that, and the other.
Wow.
So I'm sure like most of these, there's probably like old pieces that we were talking about.
Yeah.
But none of the links work. It's like a dead website, and it hasn't been updated in years, man. I tried contacting the guy who ran the website like 15 years ago or something stupid to try and see if he still had the image, like original images.
Yeah.
No, couldn't get nothing back off him at all. I'm gutted, man.
Yeah. That's why it's important to document stuff, innit? Like that's why I say to these kids that come through now, like that we're training up from the beginning.
Yeah.
Make sure you take a photo of every single little thing that you've done, because then it's nice to look back on.
I forget like half the stuff that I've lost over the years, you know, moving about in bits and pieces, you lose stuff. But I've still found like sketches from like early 2000s, late 90s and stuff, which is, it's cool as fuck. So obviously you remember the docks years ago with Barry.
Yeah.
Used to have the path that used to go over down the steps and stuff, that wall at the bottom.
Yeah.
I had a piece there for like ages, man. And that sketch I found.
Wow.
So I found the original sketch and the character, and like, yeah, it's mad. It's cool.
Sick, innit?
I was like first early days of when CVK was like formed.
Just coming through, like.
Yeah, because before it was like DSC one, I think it was.
Dragon Style Crew, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, it was mad.
Sick.
Yeah, my sister the other day, don't know what she was doing, fucking cleaning some stuff out. She just come here, give me a big fucking holder like that.
Amazing.
I'm just like, opened it up. There was like an armor character from like 20 years ago on a canvas.
Wow.
Like a folded out sheet. All my old first ever sketches that I thought I'd lost. My first black books, photos.
Amazing.
Like,
I love that.
it takes you right back to the time,
It
doesn't
does,
it?
man. That's what you're saying. Like, that's the history. That's what you're saying. Document everything.
Yeah.
Like, this is why, like, the mags and stuff in this day and age is, I think it's important, because then it's out there, it's in print. Do you know what I mean? It's part of history then.
Yeah.
Other people have got copies of these, so your artwork will always be about it some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, brother, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, man.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you, brother.
And best of luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
Take
Good
care,
luck with the
bro.
rest of your podcast, man. And yeah, big up yourself, big up HSG. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Thanks, bro. Cheers.